Woo, all right, Leo. So you're pulling a hell of a combination here. Leo, this week from Lay Vampire, you pulled seduction, allure, desire, and manipulation. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled soulmate. Now, seduction, the blessing here says you are now able to discern much more clearly between people who are healthy for you and people who you would do well to avoid. You are no longer feeling guilty for saying no to attractive advances. And then working with this card says you are able to resist unhealthy advances from manipulative people at this time. You are no longer available for others to make use of. And then when you look at that with soulmate, basically it's saying that you're done with those kinds of situations. The inspiration for soulmate. Now, mind you, this is not about an actual soulmate. This is more about the different conversation you're having with your own soul. The inspiration here says to enjoy the beauty of a rose, we must risk being pricked by our inner thorns. This offers a new way to live. The best incentive to change is love. The personal question says, what truth am I embracing? This card indicates no longer living a lie. The key ideas are speaking your truth, choosing love, freedom through transformation, resistance to commitment, and unexpected outcome and new truths. And I think your new truth is that you're done being manipulated by others who would want to use you, whether they're in like attractive advances or otherwise. Leo, your inner voice surrounding the way that you handle yourself in relationships is changing on a really big level between these two cards. All right, Leo, here we go. Here's the energy coming through. The Queen of Swords. This is a person. I don't feel like this is you. And it's not to say that you aren't intelligent and able to cut through the bullshit, but I think that you may be dealing with a Queen of Swords, which can be an air sign. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. But, you know, we shall see where this Queen of Swords is unfolding here. Ooh, wow. In the past, the Emperor. Now, just looking at the two, I kind of get the feeling that maybe you've been dealing with somebody who's been like really rigid, like really set in their ways. Now, on the other hand, this could definitely represent you getting control over your life, right? Order and control out of chaos, taking a leadership role. But, you know, looking at the Emperor connected with the Queen of Swords, I feel like for some of you, you may be dealing with somebody who's just, you know, really set in their ways and really stern. And, you know, I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about it. Oh, in the present, the Three of Cups. Now, you know, in terms of people, right, the Emperor is Aries, and then you have this air sign here as the central focus. But then you also have the group of people. Now, the Three of Cups, you know, usually is the supportive system. These are the people who are wanting to celebrate your accomplishments with you. You know, it is representing celebration, getting together with people and celebrating. It could be celebrating a marriage, a union, a birth. But I don't know. I don't know why I feel iffy about it. Yeah. Oh. Future conditions, the Nine of Swords. Looking at the sword energy with the Queen of Swords and then looking at the Three of Cups, if you're dealing with a person that is outside your relationship, the communication is off. It is off. And it's leaving you feeling bad. And I'm afraid of what your involvement is with these people. Because, you know, the Nine of Swords is all the mental shit that we do to ourselves. And the thing is, and I've said this before, and I know that I've had comments where people didn't understand why I was connecting this with the Three of Swords, because it's cause and effect. This is the effect. Having that mental anguish, feelings of regret, despair, sleepless nights, crying alone. And it is directly involving people that are surrounding you. Your best path to follow, you need to start taking action. but you need to think about what the right action is to take here. Now, and there is a lot of passion when you're looking at the wand energy, but what decisions are you making and what kind of action are you going to take involving this situation with this person? Because again, this person is directly involved in this situation. I feel like you may be dealing with a person who, is like, I feel like they're really like stern. And I think that their communication may be really harsh and it's making you feel bad. And it may be that somebody is saying something that you're hearing from a third party, and it's just making you feel bad. But the thing is, Spirit here is trying to tell you that there is a way here for you to take the right action, and it's funny because, right, you hold your own world in your hands. It's the big thing with this card, right? Like even in the traditional deck, like the Rider-Waite, you see the man standing there looking out over the horizon, holding his world in his hands, and definitely being at a crossroads too. But it's hard. I'm like, arguing it in my mind because, I mean, if the Emperor is representing you as the past coming through, you have lost control over this situation, looking at the Nine of Swords coming out. But again, for some of you, I don't know, I just feel like this energy is connected to this person. And I think that this is somebody that is separate. Like, I mean, yeah, they can definitely be a part of this group here. To me, it's the cackling hen syndrome, right? Just yik, 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 right? And you're hearing it and the communication is way off and it's making you feel bad. This one's rough, Leo. My problem, though, is, looking at the Two of Wands is it's hard to begin to be filled with passion when you're feeling like this. So I'm wondering where Spirit is saying that this is the best path for you to take, right? I mean, yeah, you control your own world, right? You have in the past. There's no reason why you can't now, especially if you're dealing with this kind of crap. In your environment. This person... And again, these messages, we say it all the time. They're not going to apply to everybody. It's impossible when you're doing general readings. But I think that for some of you, you are dealing with a person who is instigating some bullshit. And it's making you feel bad. Looking at the Five of Wands, it's conflict. It's petty bullshit. The cackling hen syndrome. I mean, it's connected. These people are talking, it's making you feel bad, and this is what you're facing in your environment, and it is directly related to this person. And it's no good. It's no good. Your hopes and your fears, the Nine of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, now, if you are dealing with a person, no matter what the relationship is, they are involved in a group of people that, seem to be hell-bent on making you feel bad and causing all this just nonsense and petty bickering and bullshit, right? Your hope is that you get to a point where you don't need these people in your life anymore. The Nine of Pentacles. This card is looked at as a single person. Basically, it is the person who is self-reliant. It is about enjoying the finer things in life, being able to enjoy your success, right? But the big thing here when you're looking at this situation is this person doesn't need anybody to help them create their own stable foundation. They are able to do what they need to do for them. They don't need any other people involved with that. And I think you're hoping to get to a point here where you are separated from this situation. You don't need these kinds of people, in your life. And I hear it, the cackling hen, people just talking shit, basically. And it's like you're surrounded by it. Oh, oh, Leo. It's the thing though is that it's going to come to an end. Unfortunately, what you're going to be dealing with in terms of communication and the way that you're thinking because of these outside people, it's going to hurt. It's going to be tough to get through. But again, the Ten of Swords, it is the ending of pain. This situation will be over with. And, you know, it may be a situation here where, you know, I feel two different ways about it. I'm looking at how this Queen of Swords is connected with the Five of Wands, right? When you're talking about a personality, this is somebody, you know, I feel like they think that they're high and mighty. But really what they're doing is just creating a bunch of nonsense. And it's like they're getting people to like take their side of it. Now, on the other hand, for some of you, this may be a situation here where you may need to get rid of certain people if they're looking to cause, you know, conflict within your relationships. You know, I do feel like the Queen of Swords is an outside person. I feel like she is either trying to get people to take her side on the situation and make you feel like shit, or you are dealing with outside people that are directly affecting this person, which in turn is affecting you, and you're looking at what is the right action to take. But when I look at these two, this is just you. You have the ability to create your own stable foundation. You don't need anybody else. And that is what you're hoping for. But everything is going to end up in a situation where it is the end. It is the end of dealing with this. It's over with. Oh, Leo. I need a clarifier on that Ten of Swords. Why is the Ten of Swords the outcome for Leo? What is up with the Ten of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the Truth? That's all I need. That's all I need. Sometimes the truth can be painful. But the beauty here is that this is the painful ending. Here is your new beginning of clarity and truth, speaking your truth, living your own truth, soulmate, right? This one's rough, Leo. I don't think that this is going to be a situation that you're going to be hanging on to. Now, normally when I see the Ten of Swords, to me, not only is it a painful ending, but sometimes we have a tendency to hang on to that because we didn't want this situation to end. I think for you, you didn't want it to end the way that it did, but I feel like it needs to, because what is happening here is no good. But, you know, again, the beauty out of this is that there will be truth. You have honor yourself. So important. Soulmate. Release, communication, and earth. Now, when you're looking at earth, earth is talking about you needing to connect with the earth, right? Find some peace and tranquility. You know, go outside, go sit among the trees, talk to the trees, damn it, whatever you need to do to get more grounded and more connected and away from this kind of nonsense. Release. Honor yourself is so important. You need to honor yourself and honor your values and honor your truth. Release. You need to release yourself from this pain. Communication. Communication is what is going to bring out the truth. The other thing is when you're looking at release and communication, you need to release the bullshit communication that may be surrounding you. Wow, Leo, this one's a little tough. But, you know, again, seeing the Ace of Swords next to the 10, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better clarifier on that. It's perfect. The truth. The truth is going to cause this situation to come to an end. The truth can be painful, but it's better to have the truth than to deal with people who would rather manipulate you and make you feel bad. Wedding, and you had separation. Jeez. So now basically what it's saying is that, for some of you, you may have gone like really fast in a relationship and now you're going to be facing a separation. Now that's only for some of you. Wedding, this situation involves marriage. Basically, this card is talking about taking the relationship to the next level, which can include marriage. And again, for those of you who are in a relationship, you could already be married. But when you're looking at separation, it says time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Now, on the other hand, with separation, it could be that, you go through a separation, but then you come back together stronger. It just depends. But, I have a feeling that maybe for some of you, you went too fast in a relationship. You may be facing a temporary separation. Now, on the other hand, when I look at separation too, apart from this reading, this could be just, your partner is separated from you for reasons that are beyond your control, whether it's work or obligations, But it looks strong. It looks like a strong relationship. It's just that for some reason you may be facing some temporary separation or permanent, depending on the situation. But Leo, the truth can be painful, but this situation with these people that are just hell-bent on creating conflict in your life, they need to go away now. The situation does need to end. All right, Leo. So, again, the beauty with these readings is that it's not going to resonate with everybody. And I say that because I always feel horrible when shitty readings come out, but, they happen for a reason. And you guys, unfortunately, are the ones that are dealing with some really difficult energy this week. This one feels more rough for me than, like Libra's reading. Okay, so, I'm glad that these two actually came out the way that they did. I've never seen this combination before, and now it makes sense seeing this reading. You guys are done. You're done being manipulated. Your inner conversation with yourself is changing. You're living your truth, and you're speaking your truth. But I do think that you are involved with a person or people that are looking to create all kinds of conflict for you. Again, the cackling hen syndrome. I hate it. It drives me nuts. These people are hell-bent on creating conflict in your life. And they may be creating conflict around a person of importance to you, looking at the Queen of Swords. Now, on the other hand, I do feel like she is directly related to these people. This may be a situation where you're dealing with somebody that is not... I don't think she's not a happy person. And I think that this may be a situation where somebody is being spiteful. And I do think that they may feel like, they are holier than thou almost, right? Like they're better than everybody else, looking at the Emperor connected with her. Now, on the other hand, you may have had control. You may have had control in the past, but you don't have control over this situation now. Looking at the Nine of Swords, no. No one should ever have to feel this way, and it's because of these people talking shit. It drives me nuts looking at this. You are responsible for yourself and your world and what you choose to create, and what you're hoping to create here is a spot where you don't need anybody else. You can create your own stable foundation. You are self-reliant. You can do things on your own, and you certainly don't need to be surrounded with this kind of conflict. Now, it's going to come to a painful ending, but it has to end. This definitely has to end. The truth can be painful, but my mother, she always used to say, the truth will set you free. And you have honor yourself and release. Right? Release yourself from this. And the communication that may be coming through with the truth is what's going to help you release yourself from this situation so that you can start honoring yourself. Now, when you come out of this, I love how this was the extra one that was thrown on here. When you're looking at Earth, you need to get more in tune with your surroundings, get more in tune with the earth, get a little bit more grounded, go outside. With fall coming and then the full moon in Pisces, go out there, sit outside, relax, find some tranquility and some peace. The trees are not going to start, the cackling hen syndrome around you, right? So maybe the trees are better to talk to you right now. It's painful to look at, but again, with these two showing up, you're changing the way that you're dealing with situations like this. You're done being manipulated. Now, for those of you who are single, heart-to-heart conversations, if you're meeting somebody new, the truth and the truth and how you feel is what's going to be most important here. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, wedding and separation. Like I said, this could be a situation here where some of you, took the relationship to the next level, and for reasons beyond your control, you're having to go through a short-term separation. Now, for some of you, it just could be that you moved really fast in a relationship, and now you're looking at separation. But it looks like a very strong relationship. If you can get back to this point after the separation, I think you're going to be okay. But you have to be truthful when it comes to the way that you feel. Again, heart-to-heart conversations. But again, you're done. You are done. You're living your truth now, and you're done with manipulation.